Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm continuing my bowl previews and predictions here. All 35 bowl games will be previewed right here on my YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe to my channel here to get all of my sports talk videos delivered directly to your inbox. Up next is the Pinstripe Bowl from Yankee Stadium. It'll pit the Syracuse Orange out of the Big East versus the West Virginia Mountaineers out of the Big 12. West Virginia comes in with a record of 7-5. And Syracuse comes in with a record of 7-5 as well. Both teams sort of headed in different directions coming into this game. Syracuse ended the season quite nicely, winning their last 3 games, and that included wins against Missouri and against Louisville. They did finish tied for first in the Big East, but by the time all the tiebreakers sorted themselves out, they find themselves here in the Pinstripe Bowl, which I don't think they'll be upset with because Syracuse has a very large alumni base in and around the New York City area, so I expect them to have the advantage as far as the crowd goes in this game. If you haven't seen Syracuse play lately, they're definitely a team that I would say is on the rise. I expect them to take a big step forward next year. They're led by quarterback Ryan Nassib. They pass for 300 yards a game, so while West Virginia's up in the 340 yards per game area as far as passing the ball goes, Syracuse isn't exactly a slouch of an offense either. And they've really surged here in the last half of the season, scoring well over 30 points a game in the last half of the season. So I look for them to be able to certainly move the ball on West Virginia. West Virginia went through a 5-game stretch there in the Big 12 here in the middle of the season where they were letting up close to 50 points a game on defense. So while the West Virginia offense, led by Geno Smith, is definitely prolific, and they did close the season out with 2 wins. 2 wins here to close the season against inferior opponents, however. I think their defense is going to be, and lack thereof, is going to be a big deal in this game. You certainly can't undervalue how good Geno Smith has been all year. Obviously, he got off to that amazing start where I think at one point he had 21 touchdowns and no interceptions. And, the talk was, if you remember in early October, the talk was, man, how is anyone going to beat Geno Smith out for the Heisman? People were giving them the Heisman already. They go through that tough 5-game stretch there in the middle of the season, and, they end up in the Pinstripe Bowl. I think for West Virginia, they might be a little bummed out that their season came to the point where they're playing in the Pinstripe Bowl, where Syracuse wins 3 straight, finishes tied for the Big East crown, and is probably looking forward to playing in the Pinstripe Bowl. It's sort of a game that's on their home turf. This game would mean a lot for recruiting for them as well, for recruiting the tri-state area. I would imagine they'd have several recruits at the game to watch them play. So from every angle, this is a big game for the Syracuse program. I love what Coach Marone has done there since he took over. They're a little bit more of a tough-minded team in my mind than West Virginia. I think Syracuse has the ability to rush the passer in spots, which I think means that you'll see West Virginia score in the high 30s, low 40s. I know you might think, well, that seems like a lot of points. Well, when you have a defense that, during a 5-game stretch this year, as I said before, let up close to 50 points a game, only scoring high 30s, low 40s most of the time won't be enough. And I think that's going to be the case in this game because I think people severely underestimate Ryan Nassib and the Syracuse offense, which has really been clicking the last half of the year. I see no reason why Syracuse wouldn't have had great practices leading up to this game. Again, a game they're looking forward to playing in. I just don't know what you get from West Virginia tomorrow in the Pinstripe Bowl. And because of that, I like Syracuse plus 3.5. It doesn't hurt either. I'm getting that 3.5, that half a point as well. Getting Syracuse plus 3.5 against West Virginia in the Pinstripe Bowl. A lot of people are on West Virginia in this game, so it definitely makes Syracuse a more contrarian play, which I like. I like to be on that contrarian side every once in a while here. But I just look at all the other intangibles and the way these two programs are headed, and I just look at Syracuse as really seizing the moment here, playing what I think is going to be a de facto home game tomorrow at Yankee Stadium, and I like them to keep on growing as a team and actually put more pressure on Geno Smith than people think. and I think the weather will help Syracuse as well because it's supposed to be a little bit cold. So give me Syracuse plus the 3.5 in the Pinstripe Bowl. Subscribe to my page. Check out my other previews. And as always, you can catch me on Twitter as well, @SNewsAnalysis. Thanks, guys.